So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm Justin from the Seafloor Cinema.
And we're asking some questions today about their upcoming album, In Cinemascope with Stereophonic Sound. That is a mouthful. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
It's been pretty freaking dope so far. Am I allowed to cuss on this, by the way? Okay, just checking. It's been pretty dope. The response that we've gotten to all the songs was pretty unexpected with just the amount of support that we're getting. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Happy to hear that. So is there any meaning behind the album name or cover art?
So the album name was actually the runner-up for our last album.
Oh.
We had like a whole, like me and Seth in particular, just think of ridiculous song names or album names and stuff like that. And just, I have a list of just maybe 200 different ridiculous names that we could use for different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of them. I don't remember who came up with it, but that was just one of them that someone threw out there. That was just absolutely ridiculous, and that came in second place right after A Metaphor for Honesty. And as we were doing it, we were all like, man, I like that one a lot, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and it goes with everything else, so let's just use that. So yeah, that's the thing behind that. There's no real meaning behind it. It's just the most ridiculous thing that we could think of.
All right.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. And the cover art?
The cover art was just something that we thought looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I don't remember where we found the dude. I think it was Fiverr, actually.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a new one. Yeah.
We're like, yeah, just let's find something here, and we found that guy, and it was really, the color scheme looked dope, and it was different from what most people were doing at the time with like album artwork, and we just wanted something that from a distance you could pick out and say, hey, that's that album kind of thing. So yeah, that's where that came from.
You definitely achieved it. It is one of my favorite like album covers, I think, this year so far, because it's so visually pleasing, just all the colors and just the art style. It's really cool. I like it.
Hell yeah, thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
It was just a giant, like, 3-month long anxiety attack, pretty much. We went into the studio with 30 songs written, narrowed that down to, I think it was 12. And then our producer, Courtney, was like, all right, cool, we're going to restructure all this stuff, rewrite these parts. This part needs to be improved, stuff like that. And so pretty much they all started out as instrumentals that everyone worked on, just the skeletons of, and then as we were going through them, each person would write parts on top of it. And even like I was writing like instrumental electronic stuff separately, and you can hear that in a couple of the songs that are yet to be released. And yeah, they weren't initially supposed to be on the album, but the producer or someone else grabbed it and was like, yeah, we're using this song, we're putting guitars on top of it and stuff like that. And I was like, I posted that on my personal SoundCloud. I don't know how any one of you guys found that. So yeah, it's just stuff like that, like stuff that wasn't really supposed to be Seafloor stuff, just became Seafloor stuff because the people in the band were writing to it, kind of thing. So yeah,
that's sick. Yeah. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this record and the meaning behind it.
Ooh. Ooh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Shit.
Putting you on the spot.
No. I write most of the lyrics in like a fever dream. And so I straight up do not know. Hold on.
That's fair.
Ask me a different question. I'm gonna pull up lyric sheets real quick.
All right. Okay. Well, while you're doing that, how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you write the opener be the opener, closer be the closer? Did you just kind of shuffle around and say that works? What was that process like?
Pretty much that for the most part. It was like we had all the songs, and then we just had to figure out what order we wanted them in and what would be a good opener, what would be a good closer, what would be good in the middle, stuff like that. We didn't really. There was some stuff like I wrote a couple songs as like album intros that didn't make it. One actually did make it, but we didn't like that as the album intro. And so we put it somewhere else and stuff like that. I also wrote a bunch that were album outros that also didn't make it. And then I think one is the like second song on the album or something like that.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Sick. Do you have your lyric yet, or should I move on to my next question?
Oh, I'm scanning. I just pulled it up. Ooh.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, my favorite lyric is for a song that's already out, and it was one that Seth actually wrote, and I was like, that's perfect. We're keeping that. And our producer Courtney said the same thing. So, yeah, it's on Crash Nebula on Ice. And it's during the bridge. It says, gotta take what you salivate, gotta put that bitch in the air, gotta find the wall, gotta PBR, gotta drink it all till I'm a fucking star.
Okay.
That
Bars.
Oh yeah. I was like, Seth, you maniac. That is perfect. I love it. So yeah, that's probably my like peak lyrical genius up there, and that wasn't even me. So
All right.
yeah.
Good job, Seth. So, what song off of this album took the longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Ooh, I think my personal favorite would be a song that's not out yet called Night Jammer.
Mm-hmm.
And that was interesting because I've never done this before. Someone sent me like a MIDI file and was like, I don't know what to do with this. And I was at my girlfriend's house and I actually wrote the entire thing in my head, which I've never done before. I was like just thinking about it. I'm like, all right, I know exactly where I'm going with this. And then I went home and that night just like knocked out the entire thing. And yeah, that was my favorite. So yeah. And then what was that was a 2-part question. What was the other part?
Which song took the longest to write?
Ooh, probably I'm scrolling through my track list now. Shit.
Got some studying to do before tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when you write all of them in a weird anxiety attack, you just forget about a lot of stuff. Probably, honestly, Tap Tapley, just because we had a bunch of time to work on it. All the other songs were like, all right, you got to do it right now. We record in like 2 weeks. And so everything that needs to be rewritten, everything that needs to be written in general just needs to be done in 2 weeks. And so it was pretty much just like, throw something on the first thing that comes into your head, and that's what's sticking. But Tap Tapley was actually the one that we recorded with a different producer. We recorded that with Drew Owens, and so we did that song and Find Yourself back to back with him. And yeah, we just had a bunch of time to work on that. I think it was like 4 months total to do both of those songs.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that was kind of also just a turning point with more kind of synth-based stuff. And so like me and Drew especially were going back and forth on synth programming and like different weird effects and stuff like that. So yeah, there was a lot more to work on in those aspects.
So was the writing process for this album like you had a couple of weeks and that was it, like, and you were like heading in the studio and like down to the wire on it?
Pretty much, yeah. We, I mean, we went in with 30 songs that were like, for the most part, there, and then I think like the month leading up to it, I wrote 10 songs, and like vocally, I mean, not like all the way through.
Oh, okay.
No, that'd be real intense. Yeah. So basically, we had a bunch of time to work on it beforehand, and I was just banging out songs back like over and over and over and over again. And then when it really came down to it is when we started going in for production stuff. And the producer Courtney was restructuring songs and telling us like, all right, rewrite this section. I like where you're going with this, but maybe change this aspect of it. Or we were changing around guitar parts, and that made vocals not work, and so I had to rewrite vocals and stuff like that. And so that's where that became intensive.
All right.
Interesting.
So where's your headspace at while you were writing this album? I know you've said just one long anxiety attack.
Yeah, there was just a bunch of stressful stuff happening. It was like right at the start of COVID and stuff like that. And so we were having to deal with like where to stay, stuff like Airbnb canceled on us. And so we had to figure out a place to stay for the entire month in LA while also not having a place to stay.
Oh,
So there was that stress. There was writing stress. No one was getting very good sleep. Just stuff like that, like what we could and couldn't do in LA during the height of COVID, stuff like that.
All right.
wow. Yeah, that is definitely one big anxiety attack. Just so many things going wrong and you can't control anything. So you're just kind of like letting it happen.
Yeah. And we're just away from our homes and just like, all right, we got to do this. We're fully committed. So like there's no other alternative. So yeah.
God. Wow. So
it was a good time though. I don't mean to just say a bunch of bad things. It was a great time looking at it in hindsight, but at the time it was very stressful.
It's horrible. Yeah. That's fair. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this record for the first time? Should they put it on with some headphones in the dark? Should they play it in the car with friends? Should they blast it at a party? What do you personally recommend?
Just playing it in general. I don't know. There's a lot of very like ear candy-y stuff with this album, and so like a nice set of headphones would be dope, but I don't do that ever with albums unless it's like New Bring Me the Horizon track or something like that. Something where I know it's like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, just play it in your car. Play it where you're comfortable, kind of thing. You just vibe out with it.
That's good.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words, no more, no less.
Pop, accessible, seafloor.
Okay.
Ooh, that was good.
There you go.
That was really good.
Yeah, it still sticks with like everything that we've done, but it's just a lot more poppy and accessible and a lot more kind of all over the place, branching out into different areas that we haven't done before.
Definitely. So is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this album to invoke in your listeners?
There's not one in particular. The entire album kind of goes all over the place, from happy to sad to nostalgic, stuff like that. And so it's more so just like a story and a variety of emotions that come about. Yeah, we really, for the most part, just want people to feel inspired by this. So yeah, if that's one, then it can be that.
I like that answer. So what band or artist influence do you think you can hear the most on this album, if any?
Ooh. Probably, honestly, for me, probably like Bring Me the Horizon, like new stuff in particular. That's where we were getting a lot of sort of electronic elements, and that was also I think they had just dropped a couple tracks like while we were in the studio, and me and the producer were going back and forth on like different parts. We're like, yeah, that's dope.
All right.
Thing. And so I was really just listening to a lot of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Solid.
Well, that's a good pick.
Yeah. So what was your favorite memory that you made while creating this record? I hope it wasn't being stranded in LA. That sounds not pleasant.
That was great. Just hanging out with the dudes and stuff. Like even beforehand, we would come over to my house and just work on demos like every week, and like we would just listen to songs, vibe, hang out, stuff like that. And then just being in LA, going on hikes and stuff like that. Like we would do 6 days on, 1 day off. Usually we'd have like a Sunday off, sometimes a Saturday if we were doing good on time. And so yeah, we would go out, just hang out. We tried to hike up to the Hollywood sign, ended up like almost getting tickets for parking illegally, but then wiggled our way out of that. But
nice.
Yeah, stuff like that, just like weird memories that you wouldn't have otherwise.
How'd you wiggle your way out of the illegal parking ticket?
Oh, I I parked my truck in front of. I have a very large truck with like a tent and stuff on the top, and so I parked like in front of the sign that says "Do not park," and then Tim parked in front of me, and basically we were like a quarter mile the way up, and we saw the parking enforcement guy go over, and we're, oh, hold on, that's not going to be good. And we ran all the way back down the hill, and I was like, hey, is it cool to park here? I don't know, I didn't see any signs. He's like, yeah, the sign's right there. And I was like, oh, whoops, I didn't see that. Where should I park instead? And then he told me somewhere else, and I was like, yeah, no, that's like 4 miles down this hill, I'm not doing that. And so we just drove away.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least you tried. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, so the best excuse I can get away with without being ridiculous, and he didn't give me a ticket, so that works.
You
there you
lucked
go.
out.
It worked. Yeah.
So picture this: you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh, what's the best thing Love's has? Their hot dogs are pretty freaking fire, I'll be honest. Don't normally trust a gas station hot dog, but
yeah,
Love's is pretty good. That or like trail mix, honestly.
Ooh. Okay. Are you the type of person who like picks out the M&Ms from the trail mix?
I do, but to put them in a different pile because I'm lactose intolerant and I can't eat chocolate. So that benefits everyone else. I just eat the bad parts of the trail mix.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be?
Ooh. Spicy potato soft taco from Taco Bell.
Ooh. Okay.
It's very good.
With
that makes sense,
sauce.
Yeah. Oh.
Right.
Perfect. Perfect.
So for the last couple of questions, we're going to shift away from music. So if you could be one animal for the rest of your life, what animal would you be and why?
Ooh. A panda. Okay. Pandas are dope. They're cute, fluffy, and they just get really high all the time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All that bamboo.
Yeah. What is it they get high off of? Is it like eucalyptus or something? Or is that that's koalas?
No, that's koalas. Yeah.
You want to be a koala?
Maybe I'm thinking of koalas. Maybe I want to be a koala.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
either one's dope. They're both endangered.
Whichever one gets high, really, really high.
Yeah, whichever
one
high.
vibes out the most. That one, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Perfect. So if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Probably, honestly, this is a little out of left field. I think Riff Raff would be a hilarious time to hang out with.
All right.
Or like, do you guys know who Stephen Wright is?
It sounds really familiar.
Oh, he's very like deadpan sense of humor. He just does a bunch of like one-liners back to back with no sense of direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you listen to his stuff, it's hilarious. I feel like he would have some weird takes on some stuff.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun lunch.
So for this last question, boom, you're on a desert island. You can bring one movie, one person, and one album. Who and what are you bringing?
Ooh. One movie, one person, and one album. One movie would be... Oh, I thought of this recently, too. I'm very bad at on-the-spot answers.
It's all good.
Good.
Fuck, I don't like a lot of movies. Probably, honestly, Desert Island, Pirates of the Caribbean, whatever the Desert Island one was.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that might help me a little bit. Just give me a little sense of humor.
Is that the one where he's stuck on the island with all the rum and then the girl? Yeah. That's a good one.
That one. What else? Album. Honestly, anything from I don't know their album names, but do you guys know the band Your Neighbors?
No.
Again, sounds familiar.
I've been showing them to everyone I know, and everyone's like, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. Literally anything by them, I'm chill with. Their newest album's dope. I don't remember the name of it, but literally every song is an absolute banger, so I'd choose that one. And then one person, I'd probably choose my friend John, because he is a farmer and he's probably the most resourceful person that I've ever met in my life.
All right.
Yeah, he literally will just make anything out of anything. And I'm like, hey, John, do this. And he's like, I got you. And then we'll just walk away and then like create like, I don't know, what was I can't think of the weirdest thing he's ever made just like out of nothing before. But he's definitely made some interesting stuff out of literally nothing. So yeah.
And that would be very good to have on a desert island.
Oh yeah.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Just listen to the album. And yeah, thanks everyone for your support. And thank you guys for having me on. And yeah, I hope you guys are having as good a time as I am.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for sitting down with us. It's been Justin from the Seafloor Cinema, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.